I just paid $100 for a lead consistently for the entire year of 2017, and I couldn't be more excited. Today I'm going to talk to you about the cost of acquiring a lead and why it doesn't really matter if you're doing the business the right way, if you have the right strategy. My name is Lakshbel, and in this video I'm going to talk about why getting a lead or acquiring a lead at $100 a piece makes me super excited. Let's get started. But first, let me offer you our 6-point strategy checklist that you need as a small or medium business to formulate your strategy if you don't have a formal strategy yet, or to reevaluate your strategy if you already have a strategy that needs reevaluation, which basically every strategy needs from time to time. In business, there are lots of KPIs or key performance indicators. Most of them can be broken down into two categories: the ones that matter and the ones that don't, or the real ones and the fake ones. Cost of acquiring a lead is a KPI that most people treat as a real KPI, and I don't. Here's why. You can be acquiring leads at $5 a piece all day long, and I can be acquiring a lead at $100 a piece all day long, and I can still be way more profitable than you are, depending upon what my offer is, what my conversion rate is, and what my cost of acquiring a new client is compared to the amount of money that an average new client brings in for my business in top line and bottom line. In other words, cost of acquiring a lead is a relatively unimportant metric unless you also consider the ratio of conversion from leads to clients, and you also consider the amount of money that a new average client brings in. But here's the second aspect to this equation. Equality is not going to happen in your business. Not all your clients are equal. In fact, the top 1% of your clients are going to bring in almost 50% of your entire revenue, maybe even more than 50% of your entire revenue. That's how 80-20 works, and we've already done a video on that. You can click on the link here to check out that video. But basically how this works is that while 80% of your revenue is brought in by top 20% of your clients, you can actually add exponents to both sides of this equation, and when you cube it, what you get is 1% or 0.8%, actually that's 4/5 of 1% of your top clients get 51.2% of your revenue, more or less. If you have more clients or a greater number of clients, this theory is going to hold more true than if you have less clients or a smaller number of products to offer. So as far as KPIs go, I do not consider the cost of acquiring a new lead a valid KPI, a valid key performance indicator. Of course, you got to track that, but it has to be tracked as a factor, not as an end result on its own. I see a lot of people trying to optimize the cost of acquiring a new lead, and that really to me is a very bad thing to do. What you should be trying to optimize is how quickly, after spending let's say $10,000 on an advertising or a marketing campaign, can you recover that money in terms of profit generated from the new clients acquired through that campaign. That makes a whole lot more sense, because if I'm going to spend $10,000 as a business owner, I need to know how quickly I'm going to recover it, not in top line, but in bottom line. That's the other mistake I see a lot of people doing. They're tracking the top line, but they're not taking into account the fixed costs, the variable costs, the other expenses really. So you need to take into account all those expenses and then only consider the profit made from all those clients. So if I spend $10,000 on acquiring a bunch of new clients, and they bring in $50,000 in revenue in 2 years, but those $50,000 in top line actually equate to only $10,000 in bottom line, my break-even period is not 1 or 2 or 6 months, it's actually 2 years. So what is really important as a KPI is your cost of acquiring a new client versus the amount of money that a new client brings in within 1 month, for instance, or within 3 months, for instance, depending upon what your marketing budget is like. For exponential growth, you want your break-even period, which is the amount of time it takes after acquiring a new client to break even on the cost of acquiring that new client through pure profits. That's your break even period, right? For an exponential campaign, you want your break even period to be as small as possible. So if I spend $10,000 today and within 1 week, I recover all that money from the sales made to new clients in terms of profit, I have that $10,000 again ready to go out, spend on advertising, or basically invest in advertising and get more new clients. So a lot more important metric to me, and I suppose to pretty much every other business owner, is not cost of acquiring a lead or cost of acquiring a new client even. It's the break even period, and that's the KPI that you should be focused on. To conclude, there are fake KPIs like the number of likes you received or the number of views your video received or the number of people that visited your website that has no direct bearing on your bank balance, which is what you actually need to stuff in order to continue paying everybody on your staff, everybody you owe, like your suppliers, manufacturers, your landlords, so on and so forth. And you cannot pay them in likes or clicks or number of people sharing your videos. You can only pay them in cold, hard cash. So what matters most in terms of advertising is your break-even period. Now, here at Westernston, we create complete campaigns from beginning to end for small and medium business owners. We only work with a handful of people, but we create complete campaigns from beginning to end where we track everything from cost of acquiring a lead as a factor, conversion ratio as a factor, cost of acquiring a new client as a factor, and most importantly, the break-even period. That's what we track. And if you would like us to do that for you, click on the link in the description below. That would be the second link, and contact us, get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to give you a free 30-minute consultation for your business. My name is Laksh Bell, and on behalf of the entire Westernston team, I wish you a very prosperous year ahead where you can actually track everything that's going on in your business, and that all starts from tracking the break-even period for your advertising campaigns that are already going on and that you think are profitable. Because you might find out that an advertising campaign that you thought was very profitable is actually got a break-even period of 6 months or even longer.